BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
Hello and welcome to Match of the Day. 7 games for you this evening in the Premier League. First, oh no, hang on, it's not that one. Autopilot there. Welcome to Match of the Day Top 10, a new podcast from BBC Sounds. Alan Shearer and Ian Wright are in my kitchen. What's going on here?
Yeah, man, it's about time because you meant to invite me on for food.
We've been waiting for an invite, haven't we?
No invite, man.
There's food in the oven. I've got
Nice one.
something for you later on. If you're good, if you behave yourself.
It might not be good.
The idea is each week we're going to come up with a short list of 10 names. Could be centre-backs, Spanish midfielders, bold goal scorers. And between us, we're going to order them from 10 to 1, which is a
Nice and
recipe
easy
for
then.
disaster on social media.
You're going to get caned.
We are. And the first one we're going to do is the top 10 captains. And I have to stress the Premier League era, because obviously football didn't exist before the Premier League got underway. So you two may feature. I certainly won't feature. I probably wouldn't have done anyway. Obviously, we've already got a top 10 that has been decided or helped to be decided by the BBC commentators. And from that top 10, I want you to put them in order. Got it?
Yes.
Nice and easy then.
So the first thing I want to ask you is, what makes a great captain?
Someone who delivers when needed most. Someone who is respected by the teammates and fans alike. And when in need, a captain delivers.
I think the on-field is where he inspires you to play well and what he does in the game, and you look at him and say, yeah, that's why he's the captain. But the off-field stuff as well.
Do you have to like him?
No, not particularly, no.
Okay. Yeah,
because some of the times I didn't like...
one or two in the list that
I didn't
people
like
may or
Tony
may
Adams
not like.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't like him.
I did. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's one of those,
I like
you know
him
what I
now. I like him now.
Well, that's a good thing, I think,
Yeah.
straight away. Probably the reason you don't like someone is because you don't like them on the pitch for what they're doing to you,
Yeah.
or what you're doing to your team, or something like that.
A captain has to be an 8 out of 10 every week.
Yeah.
He can't dip in and around the 5s and 6s. And I think that what you look at with the captains we've got, I think probably all of them have got that about them. They never dip under an 8 out of 10.
I never captained a football club. You never
I
captained...
captained Arsenal once.
Once?
Yeah,
Right.
we lost against Everton 2-1, but I scored, so
you're
it didn't matter.
possibly the worst captain ever. You've got
Could be the worst captain.
100%
Yeah, but
losing
I
record.
scored. I scored, so that's all that matters.
No, that all matters in the goal scoring list, which we'll do another week.
Yeah.
So, Alan, you did. What? How did you go about the captaincy? What specifically? I mean, I captained. We both captained our country.
I was lucky enough to captain Southampton when I was there, which obviously not in the Premier
were only a
League.
child
then
then, weren't you?
yeah, I was very young. But then I captained on and off Blackburn, but then was mainly the captain at Newcastle. And before you say anything, all of you, I know I never won anything as a captain. I know it's coming. I know I'm on the list.
I wasn't going to say it.
You are on the list of 10,
coming.
but the only reason you're on the list of 10 is because it's the only area where we can get you at the bottom.
Yeah. I'll be putting myself at the bottom as well, don't worry.
No way.
I'll tell you what, okay, are you ready? Here we go. Here's the list in alphabetical order to start with. We've come up with it, as I said before, with the help of the Match of the Day commentary team. And it is as follows, in alphabetical order. Tony Adams, Steven Gerrard, Jordan Henderson, Roy Keane, Vincent Kompany, Wes Morgan, Alan Shearer, John Terry, Nemanja Vidic, Patrick Vieira. Righty, the first thing I want to do is put your list of numbers 6 to 10.
6 to 10.
6. So start with 6 and put them on down to 10. Because I've asked you, gave you 5 minutes notice on this beforehand.
Shut up, Al. Shush, Al. So 6 will be... Hang on, look at me.
You got your list.
Vieira.
I thought he'd be higher for you with an Arsenal connection. Get that on there. There you go.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
Morgan 7.
I like that you got Wes Morgan quite high.
Wes Morgan has to be in there for what Leicester done, and he led them there as a captain, a team that's not used to doing that.
Totally agree.
Gerrard 8. Shut your mouth.
Absolutely.
Shut up, pal.
Ridiculous.
Jesus.
That is ridiculous.
If you don't want to go, I'm not playing.
on.
I'm not playing.
I'm not playing. It's his. You get your go.
You
in a
get your
minute.
go.
All right.
Right.
Henderson 9 and our 10. You
Right.
shut your mouth, pal.
Right. You've got your 6 to 10 there. In.
Yeah.
Explain your thinking to us, please.
You know something? When I look at the guys that are ahead of them, I just feel that, you know, that it's difficult. I don't know what more to say.
It is difficult.
It's very difficult.
It is difficult.
You know, we could go through, you know, of course we're going to go through what
Some
they've done.
people would say, hang on a minute, Wes Morgan above Steven Gerrard?
Just what? Oh, you beat me to it.
But as footballers, but Wes Morgan won a Premier League title.
That does.
but
And
you
he
say
won a
that 'cause-
Premier League title with Leicester.
With a Leicester side, no one expecting. Like, the fact is Steve Gerrard, he nearly did it. He nearly led Liverpool, which we're seeing what's happening now to it. But with good teams towards the end there, but Wes Morgan, with the team he had and the way that Leicester did it with, let's face it,
It's a
man.
miracle.
It's a miracle, man. It is the miracle of the Premier League with, like, let's face it, journeymen and people that we didn't know. Obviously, Kante and Mahrez, you know what I mean? They came out of like the Vardy. And then he had to keep them going through that season. You know, one of my favourite moments of all my Premier League highlights when you see someone lift the trophy, it's when Wes Morgan was about to lift it, his eyes closed and it was magic. It was like when Tony scored that goal against Everton when we won the league. It was a moment of fulfilment, and he has to be above those guys.
Can I just check what's in there, by the way? Is that, what's he drinking? Jesus.
It's white
Is that like
wine.
a petrol or something in
white
there?
wine.
Is it?
No, it's white
What,
Chef
Gerrard?
It's a
Morgan
fine
above
burgundy.
Gerrard?
Why?
Well, if that
We're
is...
not going on how good Gerrard is, because otherwise he'd be way up there.
If that is the case, then why haven't we got Tim Sherwood in here? Because he delivered the title for arguably the smallest club
Smallest
ever
club
to
with
win
the
the
biggest
Premier
budget.
League.
Exactly.
FFP, what was
That's like
that?
the only thing that was missing from them was
it's
Kroos
irrelevant.
and Shake.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah, you went. And it's only because you were there.
Well, that's a very good
You
point.
do know that he
actually.
tried to buy me before you, don't you?
No.
I was always. Yeah, it's true. I was always.
Really?
already
You
on
can't
the way to-
compare.
I'm sorry, you were second choice.
You can't compare what that Blackburn who was doing what Manchester City are literally doing now.
What?
Buying the best they could at that time. It's going to go to Blackburn, the smallest club. But the fact is, there's no way you are going to actually say to me that Tim Sherwood should be above Wes Morgan in the current climate with the teams that are about as well at the moment.
No, I'm not. Well,
With all due
I
respect to
respect...
Tim, I love Tim, to be honest, but
Yeah.
Morgan's got to be there for me. But you got your list.
I've got my
Why is
list.
Jordan Henderson so low? I mean, what
think
a
that-
performance he's done. And he had to step in the shoes of Steven
Yeah.
Gerrard, who was one of the great players, obviously great English players of all time. Henderson's come in. They've won the Champions League.
Yeah.
They're inevitably going to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
Lifted both those trophies. I mean, he's done an unbelievable job,
It's
hasn't
an unbelievable job which he's about to finish off, which you have to say, if this was done... I'm not saying that it's because he's not won the Premier League yet. I just think that he's not... with the rest of the guys, apart from what Morgan's achievement is just...
Extraordinary.
Right? And the rest of the guys, apart from Al there, you have to say that he is a great captain, Henderson, but I feel that once he's won the Premier League and he goes on again, then he'll probably be up there, further up there.
Let me ask me one more question to you, Ian, on your your 6 to 10. Patrick Vieira in 6. Now, I thought that he would go higher than that, especially with you, with the Arsenal connection, the fact that you obviously played with him.
I know he won more Premier Leagues.
Was he not that great a
It's not-
captain, or was he?
He never captained me.
He never captained you.
He never captained
No.
me. You know what I mean? I was in and around
Yeah.
him and saw how he was emerging as a captain. You could see that it was blatantly obvious.
It was obviously Adams when you were there.
Yeah, it's
who
blatantly
you've
obvious.
left for the top 5.
I have, yeah. And I know he's won more Premier League, but we're not doing it on who won the most Premier Leagues, surely.
Well, it has to have an influence,
It
doesn't
has to have some form of influence, but I'm just saying, as a leader and the way Tony was, you know, sometimes Patrick come and he wouldn't even talk to you.
All right.
As a captain.
Well, you know.
Blank you.
Yeah. Really? He's one of those...
Well, what about this guy then, Gerrard at 8 there, who Champions League?
Yeah, it's a fantastic achievement. Turned it around himself. You know, he's scored in like every final, isn't he? League Cup final, FA Cup final, Champions League final, UEFA Cup final.
Yeah.
But he's still 8th. And plus, that's his number as well. That's Stevie's number.
Yeah.
You know,
So you were talking about Patrick Vieira, there were days when he wouldn't talk to you.
Yeah,
Is he one of that?
You know what it was? Can I be
like
totally
that?
honest? With the French guys, I remember Tony used to have to sometimes literally, you say good morning to the guys. Morning. You say morning, they just walk past you, bam, blank you, all of them, just blank you.
I once said good morning to Martin Keown the first time I was in the English squad, and he just looked at me and he went, "Why?"
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
No, but you know what? It was. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? As an addict, they just wouldn't speak. Some Nicolas Anelka, Manny Petit, they're all the same. Sometimes you don't know what.
Were they clicky? Just stick together or just?
Yeah,
moody?
they were just together simply because they're French. You know what I used to do to them all the time? Just you know what I used to do to them just to wind them up because you know Matin. There was a newspaper called Matin.
Yeah.
In obviously it's morning in French and. Every morning, once I learnt that, you say morning, you say bonjour. I used to say to Patrick every morning, bon matin, Patrick. Lose his mind. It's not bon matin, it's bonjour. Every time I tell you every morning. And he used to swear at you, he used to swear and get his swear words mixed up.
Really?
But every morning, I would say to him, bon matin, Patrick. And he'd just say,
bonjour.
Yeah.
And the more he did it, obviously, the more he got wound up by it, the more you would do it.
Yeah, but the point I was making is that Tony Adams, no matter what he was going through, and remember, he was going through a lot of stuff for his private, he came in and every day he was always the leader, the captain, ready to go.
Right.
So why have you put me last?
I'm jealous of you.
You're not.
Jealous of the amount of goals you scored. Jealous that every time I went in the dressing room, they said, yeah, Shearer scored a hat-trick. When I've scored 2. And I scored 2, yeah, Shearer scored 1. You never catch him up.
Not as jealous as I was on that fateful day.
Oh, no. I felt, you know something?
My last season in English football, and I was 1 ahead in the last game going into the...
I had to score a hat-trick.
I was playing away at Manchester United. They were playing at home to Southampton. I was 1 ahead in the list. I was on 27.
What year was this?
This was 91,
92.
So I was 1 ahead. I was on 27 goals. Wrighty was on 26, I think. Is that right? Half-time, we're losing, but immediately I got someone to find out how Arsenal were getting on. This is true. This is true. So someone said it was like 0-0 or they were losing 1, whatever it was. And I thought, OK, that's Andy. And then with 8 minutes to go, ball comes in, I get a header and I score in the top corner. Now I'm thinking, that's it. Golden boot. We were losing 3-1, but I didn't care. We were losing 3-1 at Old Trafford, but when I notched it, I thought, that's it, another golden boot, another golden boot.
Another golden boot.
I'll show you them later.
See, that's why you two selfish aren't on this list. It's all about you, isn't it? Not the team.
I was playing in that game as well. I was in that game.
Yeah, you played?
I was playing.
Why didn't you stop him? So then I get in the dressing room at the end of the game thinking, this is it. So I said to someone, Arsenal score. And they went, they've won 3-1 or 3-2. I went, so what'd you 3? They went, yeah, Ian Wright got a hat-trick. I went, that was it. I went, you what? No!
You know what as well?
Can't be
you know what I was upset about that season because it was a season where everybody was slaughtering me saying, he's going to go there, he won't even get in the team, he's not going to be able to play at a bigger club and stuff. I ended up playing, I think that was the best season I ever had. And because Gary Lineker was like retiring, they gave him everything. He won everything. Yeah. The writers, the PFA, he won everything.
What do you mean because I was...
No, it's only because he was retiring that
I think
season.
it's because it was voted for when I was leading.
Mm-hmm. Is that what it was?
Yeah, because they vote, don't they? Like
it's ridiculous.
Halfway through this.
You know what I mean? And I literally went into that game saying, he's not getting this as well. He's not getting that as well. You should have seen the last goal. It literally came off my shin.
Yeah, and a penalty.
A penalty.
I didn't take any penalty.
Yes, you did take penalties. You got me.
I did that season. Anyway, we
digress.
We've strayed, as we will,
obviously
many times over the next few weeks. So, why is Alan Shearer bottom? Basically because he wasn't a very good captain. He didn't win anything. Tim Sherwood was captain, wasn't he, Tim?
Tim Sherwood was a captain.
Was he a good captain?
Yeah, he was a very good captain.
Did he have his gilet on?
He was. He didn't have his gilet on. No, he was a great captain. Everyone loved him. He was the crack of the dressing room, but everyone had the respect of him. He got on great with everyone. Fans loved him. Manager loved him. Kenny Dalglish at the time.
Banter, it's good banter.
Anything that had to go to the manager or come back, he was the.
So, did you, as a captain, ever lift a trophy?
Yes.
What was it?
For England.
The Tournoi.
Le Tournoi.
Le Tournoi.
More than you lifted for England.
No. played in the tournament. The tournament
You know what, if I
was
had-
a very important
if I-
tournament.
My mind was
The
working
last
quick then.
tournament, last thing that England have won. That's a very important
To
tournament.
be perfectly honest, if I'd won the tournament,
You asked
I
the
would keep
question.
it quiet.
No,
I would,
the tournament.
keep it quiet. I wouldn't
Brazil,
even admit
France, England, Italy.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not talking about two bob teams.
You were
They
there.
I scored
See?
against Italy.
You still had me 10 and I give you a trophy for
Yeah,
England.
but, Al, it's hard to put you above them lot.
So of those 5, Alan, who would you have played against?
Patrick, Steven Gerrard.
Yeah. What was Vieira like playing against?
Vieira was horrible in a nice way
In
because
what?
he was
Tough.
he was nasty. He was tough. He could play. Do you know what? I think Patrick was one of these guys that, however way you went in against him, whether you wanted to play against him, he could play up with the very best.
Yeah.
I think.
If
If you wanted to have a fight with him,
Yeah.
he could fight you. If you want to try and be physical, etc., he was as hard as they come, wasn't he, righty?
You know, the thing is, as well, in training, he was one of those in training that, he wouldn't have great training days. But I'll tell you what was interesting is that when he was getting ready the week, like we knew we were playing like Man United next week, you could see the change. He's knowing he's going up against Roy Keane. Totally different.
Really?
Could you?
Absolutely. Because when he came, we thought he was a centre-half. Even when he came to midfield and he was playing in the midfield, we thought, there's no way he's going to be able to play in midfield. But we're seeing a hybrid of a midfielder.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen anything like that.
Yeah, he was. I think he's as good as they come in midfield and whatever you wanted to do.
Alan, give us your 6 to 10.
Right, my 10, 6 to 10 or 10 to 6 is me at number 10.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
which
we all agree with that.
Yeah.
Which we'll agree on. 9 is Wes Morgan.
Yeah.
8 is Nemanja Vidic.
Oh, hang on. Very
Jesus.
He's gone in there.
Christ.
7 is Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, there we go.
And 6 is Vincent Kompany.
Wow. Jesus. Look, Mike.
So, the first thing that jumps out to me, two things.
Yeah.
Company and Vidic seem like top 5 material.
Well, when we get
Company
to the top, when we get to the
Yeah.
when we get if it comes under your criteria, it doesn't matter because Company manage a team full of players that cost gazillions of pounds, so it should be easy to lead the team to the title.
Yeah, but he got involved in that when it wasn't a gazillion pound place. It was just, he came in as a midfielder. You know,
5 million,
you know what I mean?
Mark Hughes
Something
did,
like that.
didn't
You know what I mean? He came in with the change, but the
This
values that he had.
This is not about how what positions they were. This
Yeah.
is about being a captain.
I tell you what.
4 Premier League wins,
Yeah.
2 FA Cup wins, 4 League Cup wins. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's quite a record.
It's an unbelievable record, and he was an excellent player. But we have
And
to
a
get
leader,
on to
on and off the pitch.
Yeah. Started in midfield, went back to centre half, delivered titles. Was a huge fan, huge with the fans, and I get that and understand that. He got it in terms of what the club was about. But then we need to.
We also talked earlier about captains have to be there at the big moment.
Yeah.
There is no captain's been there at the big moment more than Vincent. Take, for
Well,
example, the goal against Leicester
yeah.
last season, the screamer. I think winner against Manchester United and
yep.
stuff, a couple of occasions. I mean, big time, big moments, big leader.
Big leader. I'm not denying all of that, and he was an excellent player. Is what you have to be. But when we get on to the next 5, I think you'll understand why.
And Vidic too. Also extraordinary record.
I like Vidic.
Yeah.
He was-
5-time Premier League champion as captain.
Yeah.
3-time League Cup winner. Champions League winner. 2008.
No, he was as hard as they come, as well as a centre half. So I can't argue with that in terms of what they delivered. Fantastic players, captains, yeah. But I get on to my 5, and then I think you'll realise why.
Where's 9th?
Yeah, but I mean, I know he delivered the title for Leicester.
But even in that kind of environment I'm talking about, Al, you know, how difficult it would have been. We're talking about Leicester. We're not talking about the rest of these lot, apart from...
I'm not taking anything away from...
It feels
Wes
like you
Morgan.
are.
I'm not taking anything away from Leicester, but it was an incredible achievement. But it was right place, right time. They got on a roll. Every other club was in a transitional period.
Isn't that harder, Al? Isn't that harder, Al? Because then you've got to keep them going.
The back 4 of Danny Simpson, Wes Morgan, Robert Huth,
and Fuchs.
Christian Fuchs.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it was great. But in terms of the number of times he was the captain, I know they delivered the Premier League, but no, there's other players.
Well, it's your opinion. It's your opinion.
Hey, and you're entitled to it, Al, and I respect it.
Thanks, Ian.
Are we ready for our top 5?
Yes.
I just had to change something, man. I'm not telling anybody, though.
You've been
Until I do
looking
it
at
now.
mine, haven't you?
I haven't been looking at yours.
You've changed.
No, I haven't changed.
You can change your mind,
You can
even in
change.
debate. If you wish, you can change because we'll, at the end, we'll get you to talk. Because the most important thing, obviously, is who comes top, and definitely who comes bottom in this category.
Yeah, but it's only we're putting you bottom out of respect. It shouldn't have put him on there. It's embarrassing me that I'm having to put my friend 10th.
This is the important bit because we've got your bottom 5, or I should say 6th to 10th.
Yep.
I'm going to start with you, Alan.
Okay.
Right, give me your 5th.
My 5th is Tony Adams.
Adams.
Yep.
Yeah, OK.
My
4th.
4th is Roy Keane.
What?
Oh, wait, that's low.
Rascalot!
There's a bit of history there. We'll come to that. OK, number 3.
Number 3 is Patrick Vieira.
Yeah. He's got way higher than Wrighty, who knew him
I
well.
love you, Pat.
Number 2 is Steven Gerrard.
Oh,
Stevie G.
Stevie G at number 2.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
And number
top-
1 is
well,
John Terry.
John Terry.
Yeah.
Right.
Captain, leader.
Wow, it's a great top 5. It's whoever it would have been is a great top 5.
I'm sorry.
Who are you going to hit me with?
No, I'm going to start with John Terry because obviously that you've gone with him first.
Yeah.
It's
Where's his
492 appearances. 41 goals for centre half. 5-time Premier League champion. 2005, 6, 10, 15, 17.
Yeah.
5-time FA Cup winner. 3-time League Cup winner. 1-time Champions League winner. Did he play in that game, or did he?
No, he wasn't in that game. He just put the kit on.
Yeah, and a 1-time Europa League winner. So he's won the lot.
Yeah. That FIFA he was in that FIFA Pro team 5 years on the spin.
Yeah.
I
mean, great player, great leader. It's hard to argue against John Terry, but tell us in your own words why.
He was everything you wanted, I thought, in a captain. Delivered, got angry when he had to, had the respect of the whichever manager, fans, players, and he was a fantastic player as well as a fantastic captain.
Yeah. He's not necessarily loved by those.
You don't have to be
in the game outside of Chelsea.
Well,
I know that.
I think in a way, that's one of the reasons why I've put him there number 1, because he wasn't liked from other fans. It didn't affect him. It probably spurred him on, if anything, and he delivered on the pitch.
Can I say about someone else who wasn't liked, but not for the same reasons? But
Roy Keane.
Roy Keane, my friend.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
That's weird.
Tell us the Roy Keane.
I love Roy Keane.
I mean, you've got Roy Keane in 4th. A lot of people would have had him higher than that. I thought he'd be in the top 2 of both of you, to be perfectly honest. But Roy Keane, we talked about, he's a character. You had a
I had loads of rucks with him. Yeah, I mean, and I wasn't the only one.
I remember him swinging at you and missing.
But the thing is, Al started that because I saw the challenge. I even saw the challenge the other day. Al was going down and then he pulled him.
You're just trying to cause trouble.
No, I'm not.
It was nothing at all to do with that. It was a throw-in the far corner where I stopped him taking an early
I'll
throw-in.
remember that one, yeah.
And
that was the other one.
We were beating them at St James.
That was the other one.
That was the other one.
That's what I'm saying.
We were beating them at St James and he wanted to take a quick throw-in, and he'd been at me all game as he normally was.
Was he? In what way? Because people would love to know.
Just
when you say at your days, is it verbals
having
or
digs at me, trying to kick me, but it's fine. I did the same with him, so it was.
He said one of the best ones ever to me.
What?
He said to me one time we was having a ding dong kind of battle, and I was calling him all sorts of stuff, and he said, "Right, you've got a cabinet full of losers."
and the old golden boot.
No, but the thing about it is, it was so horrible. He's one of the only people who just completely shut me up.
How does he come back to that?
You can't come back. How can you come back at the time I had losers medal? But it was the best line. It was the best line. I was mouthing and I was giving it. You know when somebody literally
is there actually such a thing
down
as losers medals though?
Well, to be honest, it's like runners up, is it? It's the runners up medal.
That is quite good.
When he said that to me, it was one of those where, so I just went and got on with it. You know what I mean? It was just a brilliant line. It's a brilliant line. But I was devastated because I was somebody that always wanted to try and find out stuff about people so as you could give it to them and then they go. And he done that to me. That's why when I did finally win, and I remember going up to the camera, I went, Roy Keane, winner's medal, winner's medal. That's how long I carried it for.
Fantastic.
So when we had that Barney, didn't we, Newcastle, where he had a swing at me and missed me. It was about 3 or 4 minutes before the end of the game. I can't remember exactly what I said. I called him some sort of name. And
I can imagine.
He got the red card, and I remember having a little smile. Thought, I've done you a kipper there. I can't believe you fell into that little trap. And I can see him. The steam was coming out of his ears. And then I'm thinking, the final whistle goes, and I'm thinking, do I run straight off to get? Do I try and get up the? Because I knew for a fact that Roy would be waiting.
He's going to wait
at the top of the tunnel. So we get up to, I don't know, I say thanks and shake hands and whatever, and there's this big commotion going on. And I look up there and there's Roy's waiting for me at the top of the tunnel.
Were you scared?
So it was one of them, all right, hold me back.
Did anything happen?
We couldn't get together. We wanted to get
Were you
together.
Relieved or?
No, I was all right.
Did you fancy your chances, weren't you?
No, it'd have been all right.
It's all right. It's the Geordie, they're scrappers.
Can I ask you a question? Is the fact that he could see the red mist, he get himself sent off on occasions, the reason why he's not higher?
No, because Patrick could as well. I mean, Patrick was he
had a bit of temper.
He definitely had in. No, it's. I just look at. He was a brilliant player, Roy. But I don't. In terms of technical ability, I don't think he was as good as Vieira or Gerrard.
Yeah. So you're talking about quality of a footballer
yeah,
more than because this is about.
I know
it's
captains, yeah, but when I look at
captaincy record extraordinary.
He's a fantastic captain, as was Patrick. And
I think what a lot of people will look at that list and talking about great footballers. There's no question. Obviously, Steven Gerrard's a great footballer, but why does he qualify so highly in your list?
Look at Wesley. Look at his appearances, Steven Gerrard, in terms of what when he delivered. I mean, over 500 appearances.
Yeah, 500 appearances without winning a Premier League title. I'm playing devil's advocate here. Obviously.
Yeah, I get that, but I just when you look at the other things that he won and what he gave to that football club, what that football club meant to him,
and the pressure he's under to deliver for
and
it,
how he did that every single week, year in, year out. So that's why.
But there's a massive difference between where you put him and where you put him.
Because if it was on, like, you know, if we had to do it on the performance, like the Champions League alone, I know it's not the Premier League, even FA Cup, what he's done, and even the Suarez season, I call it, you think to yourself, obviously, you know, it's so close.
But the slip,
I'm not even
that can happen to anyone at
absolutely,
any point.
but the fact is that when we're talking about the calibre of the people that's been involved in and what's going on as captains and what they've done, of course, he's a great captain.
But why did you have him so much lower?
I just feel that the people that are above him have just, for me, as captains, they were just more. I'm not going from his, like I say, if we was going from personal, like his individual performances, like the Champions League performance, as a captain is one of the greatest I've ever seen. Yeah. But like in respect to what we're doing here,
there'll be a lot of people listening to this. Hopefully, a lot of people listening to this. They might
not,
even be screaming. They might be screaming that we've got it wrong because everyone.
Well, there will be.
There will be. You know, Liverpool.
Of course, they will. But you know how people are. But you know. You can do your top 10, and that's fine. Yeah. But it's important to stress this is just your opinion, correct? So let's not take it overly seriously.
Although the fact that we have to do that says how seriously we're taking it. We have to explain that. It's ridiculous.
And if you do want to do your own list, which I'm sure a lot of you will do, you can do that actually on the BBC Sport website.
Yeah, do it so I can slaughter that.
Yeah, then we'll pick yours apart.
Yeah.
Right, OK, Alan.
Yes.
That's you. Ian, let's get your top 5.
Right, so...
Starting with 5th. For a bit of drama.
5th is Vidic.
Vidic comes up from 8th to 5th under Ian Wright.
4th, Company.
4th, Company.
After what he delivered.
Shut your mouth, Al. 3rd, Adams.
Adams 3rd, yeah.
2nd, Terry.
Ooh, he's got. See, I thought one of you would go. I thought both.
Roy Keane, number 1.
It's just because you're scared of Roy.
I'm not scared of Roy.
You are.
I'm not scared of Roy.
You're
scared of Roy. You're scared of Roy. You know you're not going to. You're scared of Roy because you're not going to see him. You've done that.
That's you put him there because you work with him.
Yeah, but Al, that's just a nasty thing to say. You're just being as nasty as people are going to be out there. And I don't need you to be nasty as well as them out there.
Is it though? Because you got to sit with him, perhaps in the Euros.
Of course it is.
No, because the reason is that you see Tony Adams there underneath John Terry, and I think that Tony Adams was an amazing bloke and a captain. The reason why I've gone for Keane is because of that Man United team. He captained for so many years, and they were
seven-time Premier League winner.
Absolutely dominating, and for that to happen as frequently as it did, for Man United to be as good as they were, young players coming in from all over the world, and him being the captain, leading those players and getting them into what it was about to be a Man United captain, for them to stay where they were.
And the treble-winning captain.
Treble-winning captain. I know he didn't play in that because of his...
Yeah, the final, but yeah.
But his Juventus performance was amazing. But the fact is that I just look at what he's done and the way he is, and he's somebody that is exactly what you need as a captain. He wasn't somebody that everybody liked. You don't need to like the captain. But you know what I mean? He led, and what it meant on the pitch is what it was all about.
What was Tony Adams like?
I was going to just say, I had a feeling that you'd go... I thought you might put Adams at the top with a bit of personal...
Yeah, because, with the personal touch of what Tony was like, of course, Arsenal fans would be saying, why isn't he putting... Because of what we're trying to do here. This is why someone like Stevie Gerrard, who I'm very close to, I know him very well, is in 8th. People cane me for that. Tony Adams in 3rd, somebody I played under for played with 7 years. As a captain, yes, he was brilliant, but Roy Keane and what he achieved and what he done for that team and kept them doing it. Remember, we went through a fallow period with Arsenal where we were just absolutely nowhere near it. We didn't have our captain because for those years, he was somewhere else in his head. Roy Keane had the same kind of problems, still
dealt with it
and carried on doing what he was doing.
What was Tony Adams like? I mean, I had a few issues with Tony. He was with the England squad. We didn't really get on. He put it in his book, and that's fine. We do now. Well, I've met him subsequently, and he's a different person.
Yes, he is a different person.
Person that we knew when he was a player.
He was, he's quite a. Especially once he stopped the drinking. That stopped him like when Wenger got there. Literally saved his life. Because, like I say, the years before, if we had our captain, then we might have done more. But he was somebody that, when he turned up for training, and he was the captain, he was the leader. He led by example. You know what I mean? He looked you in the eye and told you exactly what he wanted from you. He'd have you up against the wall if he thought you were losing the ball, like I did a couple of times. He'd tell you home truths. You'll have a drink with him. He'd tell you what he thinks you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. He was a proper leader.
For me, he was the best centre-half I played against.
Yeah, do you think so?
In the English game.
Yeah, I played against him as well, obviously.
You thought he was all right to play against?
No,
he's tough.
I didn't mind playing against because they played a high line. I love teams playing a high line because I could spin. That's not necessarily your game. So it'd be up and out.
It was in my early part of my career.
When you were rapid?
I definitely wasn't slow. But in terms of what Tony was, a great leader, organiser. I mean, that back four that he played in was just relentless and incredible.
You know the thing with that back four, I'll tell you, when I got to Arsenal, I'm thinking, I'm going to learn so much in this and that. We literally done work on that back four every single day.
Day out,
Every single day. We used to be 9 of us against 4. You know what I mean? He was leading it, coming up, doing it. Lee Dixon, Nigel Winterburn, in Boldy. Sometimes then they put Martin in. I always say Martin weren't in it because then he gets the ump when you say he's not. Martin weren't a part of it.
Weekend back four.
If you mentioned it without Martin, he said, yeah, I was there as well.
Did they actually practice putting their arms up in unison? Like synchronised swimming?
It was that. Well, I don't know about that, but I know that it got to the point where we'd done so much defensive work that I had the ump with it.
2 different views, very different actually, which is interested me in terms of the order that you specifically gone for. After all the chat and the debate, and the talking about each individual concern, are you sticking with the top 10 in the order that you...
No, I understand your argument, re Gerrard, but your argument is, well, if you haven't won anything as a captain, then you don't deserve to be in the top 3 or 4.
No, it's not that. That's not my argument, Al. You know what I mean? I've just done it on...
It is your argument.
It's not because he hasn't won anything. A lot of people will say that, but it's just that I feel that what's happened with the rest of the guys is that they've just, as captains, it's just more. They've just done more, I believe, the ones that I've chosen.
More in terms of delivering a trophy?
Yeah, OK.
So, in other words, if you don't win anything as a captain, then you're not a good captain.
Yeah. Well, Not necessarily, but not perhaps as good a captain.
Yeah, Gary,
Someone
good
that's
answer.
been hugely successful. I don't know.
Can I change something?
Yeah.
If your order.
Can I change some of my order?
Of course you
because
can.
The more I'm
give us your
thinking-
order for a start from 10 up to, and see which one you're going to change.
So I went with Shearer, Henderson, Gerrard, Morgan, Vieira, Vidic, Company, Adams, Terry and Keane.
Keane at the top.
I want to change something.
You're allowed to change something, it's fine. Because it's before we finish, you can change something.
Can
What
I do
is
it now?
Yeah.
I want to change Gerrard and Vidic. As much as I do feel that Vidic for 4 years was amazing as a captain.
Yeah.
For me, who knows him as well, and like I was getting on my nerves. Right. I can't put Gerrard all the way down there
So
with what he's done.
That's good. You've listened. You've had a rethink, and you've shifted your order slightly, and you've moved. Steven Gerrard has been promoted into the top 5. Is there anything that you would change in your order, Alan? Remind us what it is.
Mine was myself 10, Wes Morgan 9, Nemanja Vidic 8, Jordan Henderson 7, Company 6, Tony Adams 5, Roy Keane 4, Vieira 3, Gerrard 2, Terry 1.
You know, if we do this in another 3 years, Henderson might be in your top 3.
Yeah.
Never know, do you?
Yeah, no,
That's why Keane's up there.
Any
Longevity.
changes you made? Any little thoughts?
Well, I mean, going on what we've said, then perhaps, I mean, I could put Company higher, but who do I take out? I could put Roy Keane to number 2 and put Gerrard as 4. Yeah, but
You're going to do it?
Are you going to do it? This is your last chance because this is official. It's going to go on the BBC website and people can compare their things with yours.
I'll swap Stephen with Roy then. I'll put Roy 2 and Stephen 4.
What about you, G-Force? Anything there that you feel strongly about?
I asked
Come on, man.
questions around
No, come on, man. What do you think? Because that's tough.
Personally, I think it's really hard to have Shearer anywhere near the top 10.
I see you're right, Gary.
Do you know what? I actually... The order is, vague. I would obviously have Wes Morgan first. No, but taking bias aside, I would actually have John Terry as number 1. I would have. Because the Roy Keane's red mist, he could very occasionally let the side down. John Terry, I don't know, solid. They've both won similar amount of things. Not much to choose between them. I think they're the top 2, personally. And I would have had Vincent Kompany in 3rd. I think what he's done as a leader at Manchester City is truly extraordinary. But, that's it.
They're all
the rest
great.
of it...
Yeah.
Well, 9 of them are.
Yeah.
I'm pleased I changed Gerrard, man. I'm so happy with that.
I'll tell you something with these Match of the Day top 10s. We've let ourselves into some trouble.
I know.
It's so difficult.
Whatever order you put them in, you're going to get hammered.
Yeah. But you can disagree. And let's hope that people disagree in a nice way.
Never.
Because that's important,
That's not going to happen.
Of course not. And obviously, you've got to remember, we're trying to come at it in an entirely neutral perspective.
Yes. Trying.
Not on if you've got to... It's like the Match of the Day running order, isn't it? People will have some kind of problem with it, but it's 99 times out of 100... They're complaining about where their team is on the order. So if you think to yourself, and you've got taking umbrage about somebody's choice here, if it's the player from your team, just consider you might be a tad biased. We're not. Well, a little bit, possibly. But that's it for this episode of Match of the Day Top 10. While you're on BBC Sounds, there's loads of football stuff on here. You could try that Peter Crouch podcast or Fantasy 606 or the Football Daily, which is often presented by that other Match of the Day presenter, Mark Chapman, and usually features Ian Wright on a Tuesday morning. Just go to the search bit on the BBC Sounds app and search for Football Daily.